Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lord Exus, and I would like to welcome you to Final Fantasy 15. Or should I say I'd like to welcome you back to Final Fantasy 15. I did in fact a few months ago cover this game on my YouTube channel. However, because of other game releases at the time, eventually I did pan off because this game is massive. So I concentrated on other games and let this one slip to the side. However, this is the most modern and perhaps one of the better Final Fantasies. It definitely takes certain tropes from modern action RPGs rather than the standard turn-based old school JRPG method. However, regardless of any of that, I stopped doing it because it's a massive game. I completed it way before I was doing YouTube, and it took me some 110 hours to do absolutely everything the game had to offer. But I did, in fact, promise that I would do a full playthrough of this, and I want to. And it has now come to my attention that since then they have released multiple DLCs, all of the companion DLCs that would indeed fill us in on the rest of the story of the game. The bits we missed, or the bits that Noctis, the main character, missed. And also the multiplayer DLC, which I won't be doing on YouTube because frankly I don't necessarily know if there's any point, and most people have covered it. But I did want to get the story done and did want you guys to see that, so I will keep good on my promise. However, that of course will require me to start again, and I want you to be with me from the beginning until the end. So yes, I could pick up from the however many videos I've done on YouTube before. However, I will be deleting that Final Fantasy, the partial small part of the beginning Final Fantasy playthrough that was on my YouTube account, and instead we'll pick up straight away from here and we'll go from the beginning until the end. Mainly because I have been told, I have been informed that they have changed a lot of stuff in the 2 years that Final Fantasy 15 has been released. Specifically more geared towards you being able to control other characters in your party and so on and so forth. Not that I will be doing that. However, they have really got themselves involved in this game. Square Enix, that is, the developers. They have really pushed this and made it bigger and better as they've gone along, and done everything the fans wanted them to do. So the game is a little bit different to how I originally remember it being. Hopefully the core elements will remain the same and I'll be able to progress nicely. But anyway, with that being said, I'm ready to do this. I hope you're ready to watch this. I want to get back into Final Fantasy 15, so let's just do that. Let's get back into Final Fantasy 15. Let's do it. Probably some things worth immediately mentioning, I cut that intro a little bit short, is number one, I'm playing this on a PS4 Pro, so what I've done, instead of making it better for myself and having it running so it runs at 60 frames a second so it looks better or runs smoother for me, what I've done instead is increased it to the higher resolution. Of course, unless you have a 4K monitor, that's not going to make a difference. I don't have a 4K monitor, so it's not going to make a difference for me, but the graphics will be better overall. I run it on a 1080p, but it's just, we will see better details from a longer distance, from a further distance and such. Yeah, and that way that'll convey in the video. It'll still be 1080p, 30 frames a second on the video. That's number one. And yeah, more importantly, obviously I'll be discovering new stuff as I go along because things are different now after the game's been updated for so long. But I just want to let you guys know, during the major cutscenes, including a lot of the beginning stuff and that, I will not be commentating. Because I want you guys to see as much of this as possible if you already haven't, because it's an amazing story, just like every Final Fantasy game is an amazing story. So I want you guys to experience that. So yeah, I won't necessarily be chirping up all the time and having a little giggle at the story. Any major parts that I do remember or anything I know that's coming up, I will cut myself out of that, because to me it is a decent story, or at least decent enough, and I don't want to... I like injecting my own humour into stuff, but for something like this, it's not necessary, so you will not be hearing me. Anyway, once again, let's get in to Final Fantasy 15.
again!
Here it comes! I got your back!
Here you go.
Let's go!
The decreed hour is come. Set forth with my blessing, Prince Noctis.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Take your leave, and go in the grace of the gods.
Right.
Well, princes will be princes.
So much for royal protocol.
Not like you had to deliver a formal address.
Your Highness!
What now?
I fear I have left too much unsaid. You place a great burden on those who would bear with you.
You're one to talk.
I ask not that you guide my wayward son, merely that you remain at his side.
Indeed, Your Grace.
We'll see the prince to Alticia if it's the last thing we see.
Yeah, what he said.
Hate to break this up, but Kor's got the motor running. Stratos, he's in your hands.
And another thing. Do mind your manners around your charming bride-to-be.
Your Majesty as well. Try to mind yours around our esteemed guests from Niflheim.
You have no cause for concern.
Nor do you.
Take heed. Once you set forth, you cannot turn back.
You think I would?
I need only know that you are ready to leave home behind.
Don't know about you, but I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Take care on the long road. Wheresoever you should go, the line of Lucis goes with you. Walk tall, my son.
I think we can forget about hitching our way there. Thought people were friendly outside the city.
You can only go so far on the kindness of strangers.
You're just gonna have to push her all the way.
I've already pushed myself to the brink of death.
Get up. Come on, car isn't gonna move itself.
Sheesh. I thought the car was supposed to move us.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Can it? Ready, steady.
Push! This thing's so heavy.
Unbelievable.
Not exactly a fairy tale beginning, huh, Prince Noctis?
We let ourselves get carried away.
Look, these things happen.
Let's just hope this isn't some omen.
Gladio, do me a favor.
What?
Push this thing by yourself.
All by myself?
You won't even notice if we just let go.
Prompto, don't even think about it.
Save some breath for pushing.
Ignis, come on, time to switch.
Nuh-uh, we just switched back there.
And it's my turn, Noct.
His turn.
Oh, my hands are killing me.
You rather I kill you with mine?
Easy there, tough guy.
Any luck?
Only a busy signal.
Hold the phone. Is it just me, or was it supposed to be way closer?
I assure you, the map is correct.
The map said Hammerhead was right there.
literally next door.
Looks that way on a map of the world.
The world's a big old place.
Filled with wonders.
Tell that to my legs.
You guys even pushing?
Hard as I can.
With everything I've got.
We'll be there in no time.
Hey there, y'all kept a girl waiting. Now, which one's the prince? Aha! Hello, Your Highness. Congrats on your wedding.
Not hitched just yet.
Lady Lunafreya's groom-to-be, here in Hammerhead.
Apologies for taking so long.
You best save your apologies for Pawpaw.
Well, that makes you.
Cindy. Sid's grease monkey granddaughter.
Roll her in while I'm still young. Didn't your daddy tell you? She's a custom classic, not some beat-up old clunker. Prince Noctis.
Yeah.
Prince. Like they took your old man and kicked the dignity out of him.
What?
You got a long way to go, son. And that slackjaw's getting you nowhere fast. She's gonna take a while. Y'all get her in and run along.
Y'all heard him. Let's get moving. Right this way.
Now we play the waiting game.
Never liked that game.
Never any good at it either.
Okay guys, now I'm here, I'm back in control. I left the opening cinematics and the introduction so you guys could see that was a pretty intense intro. A lot of information there. We saw Noctis and his boys fighting off against something fiery, some sort of fiery demon, and that looked like Noctis being a lot older than he currently is, so that's the thing. But yeah. And I left you with a nice heartfelt introduction scene of the boys pushing the car, and with a really fantastic rendition of Stand By Me by Florence and the Machine, of all people. It's the first time I believe Square Enix have decided to go outside of the Black Mages musical group and Nobuo Uematsu to use some officially accredited music to the game. So that was amazing. Very heartfelt. But anyway, Noctis and the boys, his entourage, are now here in Hammerhead. And yeah, our car's broken down. We are absolutely screwed. We had to push it here. We're here wearing our Crown's Guard. I think that's called the Crown's Guard, or the King's Guard. Uniform, as it were, to signify who we are. Which, a black goth rock attire is probably not the best for the desert atmosphere that we are now in, as you can see from here. And as I stated before, I have turned the graphics up to the highest setting possible, and it does look beautiful. I'm foregoing the 60 frames a second and down to 30 frames a second to bring you the best detail, because the PlayStation 4 Pro can only record at 1080p 30 frames a second, so why not have the detail rather than frames per second if that's all you guys can see? So I'm seeing the same as you can see right now. Anyway, one more thing to mention before we move on and before we get this shit kicked off is Cindy over there. I'm sorry, love. There is no way any mechanic, female or otherwise, has ever worn what you're wearing now. I'm sorry, there's just not enough of you covered. But anyway, let's go talk to her, because that's what we need to proceed. So, hello, Cindy.
Y'all ain't never been out this way before, have you? Go on, have a look around. This'll make sure y'all don't get lost.
Thank you. So we have obtained the world map or I don't think it's a fully complete world map. I cannot remember. Maybe it is. It does say world map. But yeah, thank you for that, Cindy. Again, your attire is completely incorrect. There is no way in hell any female mechanic or any mechanic of all time has ever worn what you're wearing to work on cars. It is definitely not appropriate attire. Anyway, visit the local tipster to gather information. We will do so.
Make good use of the extra time.
Thank you, Gladiolus. Okay, so speak to tipsters to learn about the area and update the map. So the tipster's over here.
Whoa! They got Ebony out here. Oh, Ignis is gonna flip. Wait, what's a gill?
Okay, so Prompto, clearly you've been raised in the Crown City alongside the Prince for too long. If you're asking what a gill is, and again, I'm just checking out the game's graphics, guys. This is amazing, even though this game was released 2 years ago. I'm hoping, because the Windows PC version that Square have been working with Nvidia to make comes out in a few months' time. I'm not going to be able to play it. My PC is just not going to be simply good enough. But apparently it looks fucking phenomenal. It can go up to native 4K amazingly, which even this cannot actually do. It goes up to native 4K, but only at 30 frames a second. Or I say native, it may even be just checkerboard 4K. So yeah, apparently the PC version is going to be off the fucking chain. And unfortunately I won't be able to play it. So that's why I'm playing this again now as well. Other than to give you guys the playthrough I promised. But also because this is the only version I can play, and it is the best version I can play. It would require me to have a PC far better than the one I have in order to play it at its best potential. But apparently it's going to be amazing. It's going to be like the best Final Fantasy port that anyone's ever done, because it's had dedicated work done on it. Anyway, what I was saying before is, Prompto, clearly you've been hanging out with Prince Noctis for too long if you don't even know what a fucking gill is. Because gill is the currency of every Final Fantasy world, every Final Fantasy game. And clearly it's only meant for peasants. Well, we're not peasants. But in this situation, we are beyond peasantry. So we've got to go in here, the diners of this world. And I must remind you guys that this Final Fantasy game is very much not only a Final Fantasy game with an epic overarching story, but it's also an underlying story of brotherhood and of a journey on the road, a car trip as it were, because it's meant to introduce, or at least they suggest it's meant to introduce, newer fans to the series and give them a more grounded framework to work with. So yeah, that's a thing, like a more humbling story almost. So yeah, you can go with that, and that's why there was memes and so many things that went out on the internet about this being like a boy band, like road trip scenario. But anyway, we're going to go in here. This is the Hammerhead restaurant. Let's talk to this guy here. Who are you?
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
I can tell you all about the area.
Thank you, I'd like that. So let's talk to you.
Hungry for info?
I very much am, sir. Okay, so nearby havens have been marked on your map. Nearby parking spots have been marked on your map. And new outposts have been marked on your map. So there's only one parking area, but we've got plenty of outposts. Procurement points have been marked on your map. So that's ingredients, treasures, and other bits and pieces. Brilliant. Okay, we can't eat anything because we have no gill, we have no currency, we have no money to do with. And restaurants proprietors will tip you off to hunts that award you gill and other prizes. Slay the targets and report back to these tipsters to claim your bounty. Completing the hunts will earn stars and increase your hunter rank. More challenging hunts will become available at higher ranks.
These nasties here have been a real pain in the rear.
Well, thank you for that, sir. And this is going for the old, almost... I don't know how you'd put it. This is almost an American style thing where it's like not so much restaurants but outposts in, I guess, the Wild West. I'm not so sure about that myself, but would offer bounties for outlaws or such, and kind of a word of mouth thing, a kind of blazing the trail almost esque sort of thing going on, where it would you know, you'd hear about a bounty and you'd go out and you'd hunt that bounty and bring it back to your local representative. This is the case here. We're gonna just look down these. We're not gonna take anything because we do have another quest that will now be offered to us.
Y'all liked it. Come on back.
We will do, sir. Thank you. I don't know what your name is because it doesn't appear here, but anyway, you are the representative at Tucker's Pit Stop. You are the chef, so we'll come back in our own time. Anyway, let's head back out.
Want to go check it out?
What is it?
Yeah, what is what? Okay. Prompto says, look at this. Tucker's Pit Stop. A spicy jambalaya will have you jumping for joy and scampering for seconds. Give it a taste.
You think it's really that spicy?
Only one way to find out.
That is true. Only one way to find out. Anyway, if we head back over here... What does Cindy have to say?
Russian Pawpaw won't do you no good.
Okay, well, you're going to tell me that and just fucking chest out in front of me? Apparently, I was mistaken. We, in fact, do need to take at least one hunt from the guy in here, so that's what we'll do.
Should have heard him groan when I said road tripping.
I do apologise.
Sid's friends, was it?
I don't know if your name's actually Tucker or you are just a guy who works for him, but anyway, or even if he is alive anymore, if this is just a chain of restaurants. So we'll take the hunt.
Help out with some varmints?
I will take Howling Wind of Hunger, level 2. Thank you very much. I will join the hunt.
Much obliged.
So what are we hunting? We're going to the Weaverlands, where the habitat is, and it's active at all times, and we're hunting apparently 7 Sabertusk. We will gain 1 star from doing this, up to our hunter rank, and the bounty is 740 gil, and we'll get a high elixir as well. So, thank you. Thank you very much. So, and now we can exit, and it should proceed... here we go.
Expended the last of our funds on the repairs.
Okay.
I suggest we confer with Cindy.
Okay.
Broken down and flat broke.
Adding insult to injury.
Good to know. So it's gone from the Howling Hunger and it's put us up immediately to the Pauper Prince quest line, which is the one we should take immediately. So the client is Ignis, although it's not actually the client, it's just a fact we're flat broke. The XP for this is 100 and there is no reward. Prince Noctis and his royal... yeah, I wish I could pronounce that word. Retinue set out to set south neighbouring land of Accordo, where the prince is to wed his betrothed, having channeled all their funds into repairs for the regalia. However, the 4 friends must now find a way to earn some gil, the currency of choice outside Insomnia.
Old man's in for both after charging us that much.
Yeah, let's pay him a visit.
Okay, so Gladiolus isn't happy about the amount of money. Now, it's weird that gil is the currency of choice outside Insomnia. Does Insomnia work on a different currency? Because I assumed every FF game I've ever played uses gil as the currency, so that's weird. But anyway, let's go talk to Cindy, because she'll fill us in.
She ain't gonna be ready for a while. Y'all need something?
Okay, well, Cindy, when you say it like that, you make yourself out to be more than just a mechanic, darling. But anyway... As for this, I'm going to go with, you've got a time limit here and multiple dialogue options, but you do have a time limit. So I'm going to go with Ask My Friends.
We're strapped for cash. Any way we could earn a little?
Oh, now I get it. This must be what Pawpaw meant when he said he was gonna teach them boys a lesson. Told me he ought to have y'all take care of some ornery varmints that have been causing a ruckus around here. I'd be happy to pay y'all for your services if you're up to the challenge. How about it?
Old man's got his eye on you, Noct. Show him what you got.
Okay, so we earned 10 AP, and indeed, Noct will show him what he's got. So, spend ability points AP to power up Noctis and his friends. Acquire new abilities on the Astral Sphere from the Ascension menu. So, this is something that's different. I mentioned this in the intro to the game. Things have changed a lot. This game has had nothing but updates and support for the last 2 years. Sorry. And they've changed a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff, what I considered, especially since it had a 10-year development cycle, I considered it missing from the beginning because I watched this game wholeheartedly since it was originally Final Fantasy Versus 13, and then it became its own game over the next 10 years and done its own thing. So there was stuff that was originally meant to be included that was then cut out. at least I felt it was cut out on my first completion of the game, because there wasn't enough cutscenes, there was a lot of story I felt that didn't explain itself correctly. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. What I mean by that is the astral sphere. That is something that was never, ever mentioned to me on my first playthrough for the game. The Ascension Grid, or they called it the Ascension Grid, now it's the Ascension Menu. Yes, that was something that was mentioned, but Astral Sphere? I have no idea. Anyway, use ability points AP to activate nodes on the Astral Sphere. Again, that word was never mentioned. And acquire new abilities to aid you on your journey. Earn AP by leveling up, completing quests, and strategic ops, or by impressing friends in conversation. Okay, so on this, combat is our first one. We have several different tabs. Combat, teamwork, stats, exploration, wait mode, magic, recovery, and techniques before we get back to combat again. Now, I would like to go to exploration, but I believe, if I zoom in here, all of these are already more than the 10 AP I have. Exploration is a big part of this game. It's, again, focusing on the sort of more mundane rather than the overarching story of the epicness. But yes, the more mundane is focusing on the road trip aspect, the being brothers, the being best friends, not just the guys that are accompanying the prince to do what he does. This is not just his entourage. These are actually Prince Noctis's friends. So I would like to jump on this one first if possible. Gain AP for long trips in the car, because ability points are how we level up individually and our stats go up minorly, but AP is how we do everything else, and gaining AP for long trips in the car would be a boon. However, I don't have the ability to do that yet, so let's look across. What have we got here? Wait mode. Presto Libra scans enemies faster when using Libra. I don't have enough points to do that. What else do I have? I have that one just comes up as Warp Ambush during wait mode. Warp Strike an enemy not targeting Noctis will increase the likelihood of breaking its appendage, which is also very handy because, as you know, cutting off or as you will find out, cutting off certain limbs of enemies later on actually adds to ingredients, makes weapons, other bits and pieces that are very, very prevalent in the game. I can't do that either because that's 18, and I can't do No Mercy, which is boost damage inflicted by scan enemies for their weakness. So I can't do any of that. So the only thing, I'm not going to bother reading out everything to you guys because I'll go for that as we go. The only thing I can do right now is this. Light phase. It reduces the MP cost of phasing. What phasing is, and what you'll see very soon, is when I'm in combat, is phasing is Prince Noctis Lucius Caelum, as his full name is, the 115th, just in case you didn't know, the son of Prince Regis Lucius Caelum, the 114th. It's the royalty's ability of magic. It's a little bit outside the bounds of any magic used in any other Final Fantasy game because it's more natural, more native. You can create magic to cast fire, thunder, blizzard, healing magics and all those sort of things. But he also has the ability, magic is a natural element within his bloodline. Therefore, when an enemy attacks, he can simply phase into light and out of existence and dodge that attack, or phase back in very quickly to parry. It's a very unique ability. So this is the thing we're going to do, and we're going to do it straight away. We're going to make that cost less MP. So yes, that is what we're going to do. One thing I am also going to do...
But don't go running around after dark. The demons are liable to rip y'all to shreds.
Thank you for that.
Here, this ought to be enough for a place to stay. Just between us, though. Don't tell Pawpaw.
Okay, also thank you, Cindy. You're giving me a grand in order to stay somewhere. So, Noctis, keep your eyes on the prize, mate. You're going to go and get married. Don't let them boobs distract you, because I know what every young man thinks. Obviously, I think exactly the same. Anyways, what I was going to say before Cindy so rudely interrupted is in the options. I think it's in the options. I can't be 100% sure. Maybe so not. Maybe not so much. This is what I want to do. The wait. I turned on the wait system. Now, some people can't get on with it. And when I played this game, I played the first 40 hours without even knowing what that was, just ignoring it. But what it means is, when we're running around normally, fighting stuff, so if I was running in a circle like this, and then just attacking enemies at random, nothing would happen. It's not intrusive at all. But the moment I go like, oh shit, well, stop, or let the combat grind to a halt, the game actually pauses, and you get a bar. It pauses for a moment in time, and it actually gives you a second to think, and although some people consider that unimmersive, I actually liked that. There's no reason to necessarily do that, but at the same time, it also works very well, so it's very good. Anyway, I'll stop my rambling and I'll continue on. We have something to do. We are on the Port-au-Prince questline, and we're going to go and eliminate 3 lots of pests. So, must look all ways before we cross the road, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Right, so there's some scorpions. I think there's scorpions down here that we need to take care of.
Looks like we found our first targets.
Looks like we did. So again, this is because we're in battle. Wait mode is now activated. See the wait timer down there? I like this. A lot of people don't. The enemy realizes I'm kind of random about. I can talk to you guys about this for a while because the wait time has taken ages to go down. But I've already signified up in the top left that it's a level 1 Reaper Tail. Its HP is 800 over 800, and the weaknesses and strengths over there. I'm going to hold R1, which targets it, and I'm going to do a warp strike, which is triangle. And the threat meter displayed when an enemy detects your presence. So it is tutorializing us anyway, but we're going to warp to it and we're going to fuck it up. Conjure weapons to attack. Hold circle to blitz an enemy with consecutive attacks. So it's hold circle and Noctis will automatically attack it. Change weapons on the fly to adapt to flow combat. I'm not going to need to do that. I don't like weapons. Noctis has a spear at this point, which he can conjure out of thin air due to his royal magic power, his crystalline or warp weapons, as it were. And he also has a great sword. I fucking hate the great swords in this game. We're just in any FF game, to be fair, that has more real-time combat like this, or semi-real-time combat, because this game is the first game to really have full real-time combat. So I hate that. I'm not going to be using the big weapons, not with Noctis anyway. The others can have them, that's fine. Gladiolus, I think, exclusively has them, in fact. But yeah, Noctis is able to wield all of the weapons in the game. You can give him any weapon you want. But I will only use the short swords, daggers, and maybe spears later. We'll see how it goes. Anyway.
Let's be done with this riffraff.
So I landed 5 successful attacks there. That was the kind of overview given to me for bonus EXP. Well, this one isn't dead, okay. There we go. So now the game pauses. I am in stasis, which means I've run out of mana. But it's paused right there as Noctis has got rid of his weapon, so I'll just continue to run around.
Rest up.
There we go. When Noctis runs out of MP, he enters stasis. He cannot phase or blade warp until he recovers. Take recovery at a warp point, possible even in stasis, to high ground to recover MP.
Excellent work.
Which in this case would be up there. However, there is no need to. We're now out of battle, and I don't think it would allow us anyway. No, it will not, because it would show up on our HUD. So, we'll check this.
What happened here?
The telegraph pole's been split in 2. And not just this one either.
The hell do you think did this?
Hard to say. Natural disaster, perhaps?
You sure? The hammerhead doesn't have a scratch on it.
Maybe a huge monster came and knocked him down.
It better not be the varmint Cindy was talking about.
So, that's another thing, in case you haven't already noticed, and I'm sure you have. I turned off subtitles because I fucking hate them. They just take up screen space. There is no need for them. But one thing this game does that I actually haven't seen any other game do is it allows for the option to just display the name of the person that's talking. That's for your benefit. I already know who's talking because I know the individual voices. So a random name will come up that may have been bugging you on the intro scenes or any other thing, like when King Regis was coming up at the beginning and Noctis. But that is the reason for it. So it at least lets you know who the character is, who the voice is you're hearing. I leave that on because it's important for you guys, more so than myself. I left it on for the first time I played, and it sometimes helps when people are off screen. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Anyway, moving on. We've got more pests to eliminate. So let's do that thing. And the game is tutorializing us as well, guys. Luckily, I remember the controls. I'm not brilliant at them, but the game is telling us as we go through. So, attire. Outfits change not only appearance, but attributes as well. They do indeed, like armor. So, we've got another level 1 Reaper Tail, same as before. The game has gone into wait mode. But I'm going to attack this outright. I know what I'm doing now. So it shows you who's attacking who and what's attacking what. We can cycle through targets. We don't need to. It's telling us press square to roll dodge and press square to defend against oncoming attacks as well. Like so. And we get a parry off when we press circle. So that was beautiful. Oh, didn't defend against that one. Didn't see it coming.
I know.
Okay, we'll go over here. Okay, it was that. It was attacking me. I was meant to defend against that. Another double team attack with blindside. That's beautiful. So unfortunately, I didn't get that
We'll be done in no time.
that defensive attack bonus they wanted me to get off. They shoot at the top of the screen on an orange bar. They wanted me to defend against their attack and parry back. I did, but initially the first attack I done was.
Where are we headed anyway?
But that was before the game brought it up as a challenge, so.
Then after that, we hop a boat, and before you know it, Loverboy's hitched.
Wait for car repairs, then wedding bells in the air. Got it.
Do love the banter between these guys. It actually sounds like a group of mates rather than just guys guarding the future king. Okay, onwards. So here we go. Back into it again. So let's carry on what we were doing. Okay, Noctis can instantly warp strike a targeted enemy at the cost of MP. The farther Noctis blade warps, the more damage the attack deals. So we know this anyway. So it's now asking me to land a warp strike, which I've already done. Oh, didn't even get a block command come up for that, so we'll warp strike over to this one. And that says success at the top there, so that's good.
Hey, we're not one knocked.
So I'm now in stasis, so what we do here is we go to the warp point over there. Now, my MP's fully recovered, I can just get back into the fight. Ooh. So just guard like this, you can generally go around and not get hit, but it doesn't matter because the fight is over.
Nice. Mission complete.
Who could this
Who is this?
Hello?
Hey, it's Cindy. How goes the hunting?
Actually, we just finished.
That's great, 'cause I got one more hunt for y'all. Only this time, it's for a person. Fella named Dave went off, and we ain't heard from him since. Reckon he staked out a spot in an old shack nearby.
Old shack. Oh, got it. We'll take a look.
So, what did Cindy say?
Needs us to find some Dave guy.
He went missing?
Not missing. Said he's holed up in that shack.
Okay, so that was Cindy, obviously, and she wants to find us to find the legendary man Dave himself, because every legend should be called Dave. It's the most generic name ever, and of course they would include it in here, so clearly he's going to be amazingly important. So let's do that thing. Okay, so let's go find Dave, because Dave is blatantly going to be really important with a name like Dave. I mean, we're playing as Noctis Lucius Calum, the 115th. Dave is going to be the important man here. Okay, so he's in here apparently. So let's have a look. The Three Valleys, there's a parking spot nearby, as the game is telling us. Let's check this out. I did press X, but apparently jump is better. Mutant dual horn sighting. Codename Bloodhorn. Characteristics: red tusks, extremely violent. Outstanding bounty on saber tusks in the area. Good to know.
Get out of here!
Oh.
You okay?
We are now. Spoke too soon.
Okay, so this is what we've got coming for us. We've got the wait timer up again, which, again, in my original playthrough, wish I'd had up since the beginning. So I'm going to use Libra on this guy. Saber Tusk, level 2, 800 out of 800 HP, and it shows the weaknesses, none of which I have as Noctis. But anyway, we're going to smash this shit up. Let's do it.
Just a scout of us.
Easy as they come.
Oh, so warp striking out of there. Well, I did for a bit anyway. Let's get out of here. Let's make an opening. Yeah. Oh, let's block that. Nice. Let's get the parry on. Have some of that, you motherfuck. Double team. Beautiful. Oh, did not mean to do that. Yeah, I'll just keep out of enemy combat with a nice little warping there. Let's have some of that. Beautiful. Nope, cannot warp strike that. Is there a high area I can go to? There is not. So we're just going to have to use normal attacking.
None the worse for wear.
Okay, that works.
What about the shack over there?
Okay, so there's a shack over there Dave might be at. So that worked. I got stasised at the end there. But still, we managed to kill those things fairly easy. I didn't even take... I think I've got like a sliver of damage on Noctis there. Everyone else is pretty good. So that's good. And like I said, I've whacked the graphics up to the highest they can be. This is looking amazing. And I do own this game on Xbox One as well, and it looks like toilet in comparison with this. And again, the PC version I'm sure is going to look fucking amazing. So, to anyone that hasn't played this, doesn't know anything about it, and wants to play it, and has a decent enough PC to do so, come, I think it's the end of March. I could be wrong, it might be May. I'm not good with months and times. But yeah, please do, because it's going to be off the chain. Anyway, we need to go over here. And there's obviously some enemies here, so let's see what's going on.
Got a plan.
Okay, Ignis has a plan. Okay, so you want me to warp to the windmill, is what you're saying, Ignis.
This creature is known as a saber tusk.
Friends propose strategies to gain the advantage in combat. Following the strategies will earn you AP. Blue marks indicate points you can warp to instantaneously. Locate the blue marker on the windmill and warp to it. I will do so.
Skewers prey with its tusks, extracting game from the safety and comfort of burrows.
Okay, so they know I'm up here, but at the same time I gain the advantage. Oh, you bitch. Ah, nice parry. There we go. This is the combat system I remember. Beautiful as it is flawed. So, you over there. Ah, it got me. Thank you, Gladiolus. Oh, you're a bitch. Stay still. Thanking you. Okay, we need that warp point again, because we are on stasis. Thanking you. And your turn. Eat my sword. There we go. And there we go. Done and dusted. A+ ranking.
Better than good.
Hey, who's out there?
Hello, sir.
Well, and look who's in here. The man of the hour.
It's Dave!
Been looking for you.
Didn't mean to cause y'all any trouble.
You didn't, sir.
Stuck here on account of my sprained ankle. Yeah, something funny about them varmints. I gave them hell, but couldn't finish the job. Still one mean mutt about. Well, y'all don't look much like hunters, but what do you say? Put that puppy to rest for me?
So you want us to, there's another, a worse version of what we just fought. And you've got a sprained ankle, sir, so you have to lock yourself in the cabin. Of course, we'll do it, and we'll do it for free, because we're that hardcore.
Yeah. We'll take care of it.
Oh, you all got guts, that's for sure. Let me tell you where I last saw him.
Way to show some spunk. Now let's get ready to kick some tail.
So we got 30 XP for that. The Mutant Marauder. Locate the target. Cool, cool. And we also got a magic flask. Now, magic in this game works a little bit differently. Let's have a little look. So we go to Elemancy. Craft spells using the elemental energy that you have collected. Then equip magic flasks to use them in the field. Adjust the amount of energy or add a catalyst while crafting to increase the spell's potency or add an effect such as poison or multicast. Review your history to quickly craft more of the same spell. I think that the history is a new thing, but basically, yeah, Noctis can't just cast magic. He's not just a mage. There aren't such things as just mages in this game, which is fair enough because it's meant to be more modernized. But he does have the ability of Elemancy, which allows him to indeed craft magics into a flask or bottle and therefore throw them at the enemy casting magics. So that is kind of a different thing from what I've ever experienced before, and again, I was like 10 hours into this game before I even used this. So this time we're not doing that. Anyway, we have a second flask this time, so we're gonna mix shit up. So I'm gonna put 8 fire. I have no lighting, I have a little bit of ice. So we're already going over to Blizzard because there's more ice in there than there is fire. So I'm going to scale that back a bit, and we're going to go down here. And this is another thing. I literally took no notice of this when I played the game first time round, and I probably should have. But you can actually add your items to this. And again, I really should have taken notice of this. But it allows you to basically create a completely different spell, because you'll only using ice, lightning, or fire together will only ever create, I believe, the base fire, blizzard, and thunder, but just at a different potency or a different amount of uses, like ×3 it is there. If you add different stuff to it, you will actually get, say we've got blizzard right now, you'll get Blizzara, Blizzaga, and Blizzarja, dependent. I can't remember what it's called, whether they are the way it goes, but anyway, so if we were to, okay, I just didn't, I didn't really check that out properly. Let's try. So there we go. If you go down to bird beast eggs, no, there you go, Leiden potatoes, sorry. You'll get heal cast blizzard. So you'll cast blizzard at the enemy, but at the same time you'll get a level 10 healing spell cast on your characters. I mean, that's pretty messed up. I'm not going to do anything right now on that, but what I'm going to do is go to gear, because this is the other thing you have to do with magic. Noctis is the only one that can use magic, at least for some time into the future, because he's the crown prince, his bloodline, his lineage has magic. Anyway, if you go to your last skill slot, you can indeed equip a weapon of your choice to it if you have spare weapon. But if we go over here to the end, you can also equip spells. We already have a flask full of fire, so we'll use that. Anyway, so we can just equip that and see he's got a random spherical object full of fire.
Mean to do that?
I don't know why you guys thought I was attacking you then, but you... Oh, hello.
It would be wise to rest up before we set out.
It is getting pretty late. This game has, like, these guys for, like, early 20-somethings seem to have an 8 o'clock-ish curfew. Number one, because demons come out at night, although it's not spelt like normal demons, but they come out at night and they're extremely high level. Like the base one, I think, is like level 40, which is like the red giant, and that you do have some lesser demons, but yeah, they come out at night. You shouldn't be out at night early in this game. Later on, it's not so much of an issue, but yes, and the days do indeed get incrementally shorter, so it becomes a thing. Anyway, a formidable foe waits. Prepare this encounter by resting at nearby haven. Ignis will cook you a stats boosting meal for the party. Yeah, that's a good idea, Ignis.
In that case, let's find a spot to
So the main quest has changed
The
now.
hunters are really out in full force around here, huh?
They are indeed.
So they're the new Crown's Guard or something?
Similar, though technically a civilian outfit.
They've definitely seen a lot more action than we have.
Is it cool that we rock Crown's Guard outfits?
Be worse not to. They made them especially for us.
Even got a sweet insignia on them.
In the Crown's Guard, your attire identifies you. so wear it with pride.
So yeah, just exactly what all those guys said. The hunters are like the civilian outfit of the Crown's Guard, which is the people who protect the king and the prince and royalty in the Crown City. So that's why we've got the random goth rock uniforms that we have. Identify who we are. But now we're working with and for the hunters to a degree. Anyway, we're here. And it said about resting at havens. I'll explain that in a second. But first, let's absorb some elemental energy for our magics. Okay, so you have, as it says here, Elemancy, Fire, Ice and Lightning magic requires elemental energy to cast. Absorb the energy from deposits found near havens and in other places around Eos. Eos being the world that these characters inhabit. And Insomnia being the capital city
Illuminate!
of the Insomnia Kingdom. I did hear that. Prompto just said illuminate, and their lights that they strap onto themselves, the little lights just came on, and Noctis called him a nerd. That is fantastic. Anyway, we'll drain some ice elemental energy. And as you can see from the map, I'm now going round to the lightning elemental energy. These do appear around havens, but they appear in other places, but you need them in order to bottle them for creating magic. So we're going to do that. Anyway, as you can see, it's 7 o'clock. The sun is going down. It goes down very quickly. And it's soon time to rest. I'll explain havens to you now, because we are up here at our first one. So you get these, like, runic symbols, like these ley lines almost. And when you get close to them, and you also get a trail of smoke coming out, even though there's no fire. This is our the first of our havens, so we'll camp for the night. So, camp at havens to enjoy stat-boosting meals and a good rest to tally EXP. In this game, you do not level up from EXP just being earned by battles. You have to rest and sleep for the night, and then your bar goes round. And when it goes round, you level up. Obviously, that's how your stats increase. But they need to tally, so you need to rest for the night in order for that to happen. There's two ways of doing this. One is at camps, which we are about to do now. Now, what will happen at camps is Ignis, or anyone who is capable of cooking, but mainly Ignis, because he is the chef, will, with what ingredients you have, be able to prepare you a stat-boosting meal for the next day, which will last, depending on how good the meal is, or depending on what meal it is, for a considerable or a very limited amount of time. This will help you a lot in fights, especially if you're going to go into areas which would be stupid for you to do, but if you're going to go into areas that have monsters that are much higher level than you, don't do that. Don't be a retard. There's no need for you to do that. You can be strong and go into an area at a point. But if you want the extra benefit, if you are at the level you're going to fight this monster or this group of monsters or this dungeon, and you want an added benefit of gaining, because certain meals can gain you more EXP, and you want that, you can get Ignis to cook you a meal by resting at a camp the night before, or the day before, depending on whether you're going to go at night. So that's good. However, at a camp, your XP, as far as I remember, will only be tallied at ×1, so the standard amount of EXP. However, if you were to go to a restaurant, an inn, or a trailer park and rest there for the night, you will not be offered the opportunity to have a cooked meal, so you will not get any stat boosts the next day. However, what you will get is an EXP bonus. Now, anywhere standard, like a standard motel you'd go to, or a standard hotel you'd go to, will only give you like ×1.2 EXP bonus, or ×1.4. But as the game progresses, you'll go to fancier places, or have to pay for fancier places, because all hotels and establishments have to be paid for you to rest a night. Will give you a considerably bigger EXP bonus if you want to earn more experience. Your experience will be times by that amount. So they're the two differences as far as I remember. Anyway, let's see it. So before I camp up for the night, I'm going to train. This isn't tutorializing, although it kind of is. It's more of just base training to get you through certain bits in the game. Or not even that so much. It's just basic drills, other bits and pieces as stated here. So it's level 5. We're not even level 5. But we're going to do this anyway. Eat it. Eat it, Gladiolus. That's it. Have the parry. Eat the parry. So this is the game just teaching us more about how to fight. Gladiolus does this pretty much exclusively. Oh, missed, bitch. I do like the parry system in this game. It gives you plenty of warning and plenty of time most of the time. I say most of the time because when there's multiple enemies, it doesn't always. Anyway, we done Gladiolus. We earned 5 AP for that as well. We're not gonna retry. We're gonna quit. We're done with that. So I have to end the video there, guys. Sorry, I do apologise. Actually, after recording and then trying to upload, I do realise that the PlayStation can only render 1 hour's worth of video data at a time. So I actually have a little bit more than this to show you, including the finishing of this quest line. However, I can't show you it because I can't do it in one video. So that'll be the beginning of the next quest line, and then I'll have to cut off the end bit and do some magical computer jiggery in order to show you that bit. I do apologise. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I very much enjoyed playing this again, and I will be doing a full playthrough because this game is amazing. Anyway, I have to leave it here. So, as always, I have been Lord Exus, and I thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. In a bit.